Hey guys, I'm Samoose, and you are watching In the Mirror Car Reviews. And today I have to show you the 2023 Hyundai Tucson. I'm going to walk you around, show you some of the cool features on the vehicle, take it for a little test drive, and I'll tell you what I think. Let's talk about this Tucson. My personal opinion, I think this vehicle looks great. It looks very similar to the concept car that originally came out to be as. Sharp lines, this amazing front end with these daytime running lights really sets the vehicle apart, especially in the segment that it's in, is this compact crossover segment. I think it looks really nice with these bold and sharp lines. Give this car some muscle on the side over here. It's beautiful 19-inch alloy wheels, which are matched perfectly with this hockey stick trim that goes all the way to the back of the vehicle here as well. Overall, side profile, front profile, and the rear profile of this vehicle looks really, really good. Now on the rear end of the vehicle, I really like what they did with this Hyundai badge. They incorporated into the windshield back here, the window. Gave it that nice clean look. Tucked away the wiper underneath there as well. Gives it this nice clean look. Gives it room for this beautiful tail bar with the letter T's for brake lights. This particular model is also all-wheel drive. And a special thanks to Gettel Hyundai and Genesis of Sarasota for providing me this vehicle today. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below of this design of the 2023 Hyundai Tucson. What do you think? Do you like it? Or do you hate it? I think in this intense blue color, it looks pretty nice. Make it in a nice red, really bold red. They're trying to make this car stand out for sure. So let's talk about the inside. Starting off with the rear seat of the vehicle, greeted with this beautiful H-Tex leatherette seating surfaces. Brand new for 2023 in the convenience model is the H-Tex leather seating surfaces. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the full leather seats and these. A few nice features. You have a nice little center armrest, cup holders here, AC vents, and USB charging ports. Nice little mat pockets here. If I have a seat, that right there would be my driving position. I'm about 5'9". Have plenty of leg room, plenty of feet space underneath the actual seat. Nice and cozy back here, especially with this light interior. It makes it feel very roomy, spacious. We'll roll down the window here. Window goes all the way down, which is nice. All right, let's talk about the front. In the driver's seat, greeted with proximity key. Just grab on the handle to unlock it, and then tap this little circle over here to lock the vehicle. Getting in the car, yet again, these beautiful seats. 8-way adjustable with lumbar support. Let's talk about the door, because the door has a lot of nice design elements, such as this piano black gloss that wraps around the whole dashboard and meets with the AC vents, scopes around the center console over here, and goes all the way down there. I think that's a really neat design element that Hyundai has incorporated. Goes to the front seats and the rear seats. Really nice materials. Grab handle is nice and easy to access. Buttons are nice and simple. And here you have the 10.25-inch digital driver's display. I think it looks pretty neat. There are different drive mode configurations that you can have this in. Right now it's set to a cube mode. You can also have it linked to a different drive mode, such as Sport. This is the traditional clock. B, which would be for Sport mode. C, which would be for Eco mode. And then your custom cube mode. Kind of like this cube mode, but if you like something a little bit more traditional, you can stick with these clocks right here. Nice and simple and easy to see. There's no glare whatsoever on this dashboard. So here you can tell there's nothing really covering it which gives you a nice and flat dashboard, which makes it very easy to see out of. Talking about the steering wheel controls are nice and simple, have buttons for everything, simple switches and toggles, and play around with the trip computer with the press of this button. You can scroll up and down, have cruise control, one-step activation, reach the speed you like, press the button, and it's all set. Distance levels, speed adjustment, and a really cool lane following assist feature, which Hyundai does a really good job of keeping the car in the center lane. Then you have your Bluetooth controls, voice command mode to switch between AM, FM, Sirius XM. Very simple turn signal stock. You can set the lights to auto. I like the fact that it actually shows you in this display what you select it to be, so you know exactly where you put it. Same thing for the windshield wipers. All right, if you set it to intermittent, low or high, it will actually show you where you are at, which is nice to have. Then you have this beautiful 8-inch display. It's covered in gloss black, but it's okay. This doesn't really stick to it as much. The screen's kind of a matte finish, less glossy than it is over here, so fingerprints are okay. Kind of wish that the buttons to the side were actually physical buttons and not these touch capacitive buttons, but they serve their purpose and they're good. Then you have a scroll wheel for volume, which is kind of different, but you get used to using it. It's nice and simple after some time. Touch buttons for your climate control settings over here as well. Kind of wish you had traditional knobs and dials for everything, but this is okay. Easy to use. Down below you have USB charging ports, a nice 12-volt outlet back here as well. Wireless charging for your phone, just kind of slide it in right in there. Cup holder area with your shifter. You get a traditional shifter in this particular model instead of the push button shifter in the higher trim levels. All-wheel drive lock because this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Auto hold, nice feature to have. Engine has idle, stop, and go. Here's a switch, you can turn that off. And here you can press the camera button to see what's behind you. That's your backup camera. Nice and clear image. Lines are very accurate. You can position the car very well. You can see the bottom portion of the bumper at the very bottom of the screen, which makes parking very closely, very easily. Just kind of wish that these materials were not gloss black, especially around the cup holder area. If you like to drink coffee or anything like that, if you spill stuff, drinks that have sugar, this will kind of make it a little bit more messy. But microfiber towel and some spray should do it. Have heated seats, driver and passenger. Nice little center armrest area, nice and deep. You can put a lot of stuff in there. And you have a very reasonable glove box over here as well. Take a look at the top. Get a standard sunroof, not a full panoramic one, which is optional for the higher trim levels. You can open this up, of course. And if we take a look back there, you see at the top of the roof over there, there are some sonar sensors back there to let you know if you left any kids or dogs in the back seat of the vehicle. Pretty handy safety feature, especially down here in Florida with tremendous heat and how hot the cars get in here. It's pretty ridiculous. Well, let's take a look at the cargo space. The SEL and up trim levels, including this convenience package, gives you a power-operated liftgate with smart trunk access. Smart trunk access is quite neat. All you have to do is have your key in your pocket, approach the trunk, stand here for a few seconds as the car is locked, and it will open up the trunk for you. Got some accessories here with the vehicle. Very generous trunk space, very tall. And I like the fact that the actual bumper right here is the same black plastic that goes around the wheels. It's very heavy duty, hard to scratch, and easy to maintain. Folding the rear seats, it's quite as simple as just pulling on these levers, and it makes the seats fold down in a 60/40 folding fashion. Gives you lots of cargo area. All right, let's take it for a spin. All right, so setting off in the 2023 Hyundai Tucson SEL with the convenience package. Right off the bat, I can tell you I really like the visibility out in the front. Not having a cover underneath here really helps lower the dashboard so you can see a little bit better what's ahead of you. Visibility out the side windows is great. A-pillar is not much of a blind spot. Seating position is good. You sit nice and tall, but not too tall. Getting in and out is very simple as well. Now, one thing I don't really like is this idle stop and go, which fortunately you can disable it with a press of a button down here next to the shifter. Gauge cluster is nice and clear, provides all the information you would ever need. Very easy to adjust. You can certainly set it up to the way you like it. Now, the Hyundai Tucson gives you, in the standard platform, a 2.5 liter gasoline direct injection engine mated with an 8-speed in-house made transmission. Gives you a nice smooth acceleration. 4-cylinder isn't very powerful, but it's plenty enough, and it's certainly competitive in the segment. I like the steering wheel a lot. The 10 and 2 notches over here are nice and comfortable. The steering wheel itself, it's quite skinny, probably more on the skinnier side, but has really good positions here at 3 and 9, 10 and 2. If you like to put your hands down here a little bit lower, this is a really neat place to rest your hands at as well. The ride is composed. It's nice and soft. Let's activate the lane follow assist here and just kind of show you how well it does. You're going to be able to see some micro adjusting in the steering wheel, trying to keep it centered in the lane. It does a really good job at doing so, I would say. Overall feel of the car, I think it's pretty nice. Visibility is great. Out the front, out the back window, looking in the mirrors, everything's okay. I really like this layout. Nice and simple and easy to use. It's not like an afterthought, like an iPad stuck to the display. It's actually built in here and easy to touch. Don't have to have very long arms to touch this at all. And of course, it supports wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, have wireless phone charging connectivity, so you just throw your phone right in there. Simple as that. Now, you do have different drive modes here. Stick it here into Sport and see what this engine feels like. Okay, so the engine's not very powerful. They'll certainly get you moving, that's not the problem. At higher RPMs, it does get a little revvy. I'm going to put it back here in smart mode. It's certainly a lot happier in the lower RPMs, I would say. Anywhere between 2 to 3,500 RPM is the sweet spot of accelerating in this car. And of course, you're going to be searching for that fuel economy as well. Which overall, the front-wheel drive version of the Tucson gives you 29 combined fuel efficiency, which I think for a vehicle in this segment, that's pretty good, especially knowing that you have an 8-speed automatic transmission, which gives you a little bit of a more natural driving feel. Steering is very light, however very direct. The car changes direction very, very quickly, but the on-center feel, it's very numb. There's not much going on right here in the middle. You have almost no feedback. I feel like it's a progressively weighted steering feel. It does firm up a little bit more when you start turning in a little bit more as well. Of course, sport mode tightens the whole steering rack up a little bit. Feels a little bit more sporty. But yeah, I have to say, I really enjoyed this. Safety features in the blind spot are a nice addition. They'll beep at you once you put your blinker on. Has active avoidance too, so if you start to turn into them, the car will break the outer wheel and try to pull you back in your lane, which is an amazing safety feature, I think. Yeah, this engine certainly feels a lot better at around 3,000 to 4,000 RPM and feels like there's quite a bit more torque. At higher RPMs, I think it's gasping for air. It doesn't really have that much power in the higher RPMs. You really want to keep this at around 3 to maybe 4,500 RPM if you're accelerating. Have to be somewhere half throttle on this one to accelerate nicely. The wind noise is good, hitting bumps and potholes. The whole chassis is very composed. 8-speed automatic transmission, very smooth. You can't feel the gear shifts at all. Once it's in a higher gear, the engine's nice and quiet. Very composed over potholes and manholes, especially with these 19-inch alloy wheels. Tell you what, if you see a Tucson in your rearview mirror, you definitely know it's a Tucson. It does look really, really good. Those daytime running lights really set it apart. Here's a perfect opportunity to turn on auto hold, so I can rest my foot, let the car do all the braking and holding it in for me. A good time to talk about the seat. Seat's nice and wide, not much bolstering. I'm sure people of all sizes can really easily fit in this seat. The support is good. It is a little firmer seat, which I think Hyundai tends to do. I think firmer seats are better overall in terms of long-term comfort. I really like having a shifter. You're not supposed to rest your hand on it, but naturally it's just a perfect fit for it. Now, speaking about the armrest, I think it's in a really good position. It's nice and softly padded, and so is the armrest over here on the driver door and as well as on the passenger door. I think they're softly padded. The positioning is good. I have slightly shorter arms, but I can reach to the steering wheel okay, and my elbow position is pretty good on this vehicle. It's not hard to the touch at all, and yeah, nice and comfortable. Guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this interior? Do you like the new style of the Hyundai Tucson, or do you prefer a little bit more traditional iPad stuck-up display? I really like this built-in dashboard over here. I could probably do better with physical buttons instead of these touch capacitive buttons and all the gloss black. I mean, they made a touch capacitive screen and everything gloss black around here. It's probably going to be a fingerprint nightmare. You might want to have a microfiber towel in the car to just wipe it off occasionally. I really like that center display. You can really see it nicely through the steering wheel. Doesn't obstruct the view whatsoever. It's nice and clear. I have a little bit of sun glaring on it, but I can see it perfectly fine. There is no need for a cover. It gives you that lower dashboard feel. So if you're a shorter driver, you might appreciate that, so you can see over the steering wheel a little bit better. I like how they incorporated these AC vents within this stylistic line over here that connects all the way to the center console. I think it's a really nice piece over here, and it extends all the way back to the rear seats here as well. Yeah, this engine certainly feels more alive at around 3,000 RPM. Transmission, very smooth. Cannot feel the shifts. It's just like butter. You can certainly feel the lane following assist feature trying to keep me in the very center of the lane. You'll notice that they'll try to push you a little more towards where the car thinks it should be rather than where you probably normally would be. As a driver, you might tend to creep a little more to the left or to the right of the lane. The lane following assist feature really wants to keep you dead in the center, and it does a really good job at doing so, but you may feel that it tries to tug you back a little bit. The good thing is it's nice and gentle. It's not intrusive whatsoever. Lane keeping assist, being a safety feature that it is a little bit more intrusive. If you do not use an indicator, the car will certainly want to tug you back into your lane to prevent any accidents from happening whatsoever. However, if you put your blinker on, those features are disabled, and you can make the lane change safely because of the blind spot detection system that you have there as well. All right. So I'd like to talk to you guys about the overall experience of this vehicle and what I think. Um, kind of touch on what I like and what I don't like, and if I think that you should really consider this vehicle, if it's something that is certainly worth purchasing, or if you should look elsewhere. So what do I think of the 2023 Hyundai Tucson? Well, in my personal opinion, I think it really stands out in the crowd, especially in comparison to something like the RAV4 or the Nissan Rogue. I really like the sharp lines on the side of the vehicle over there, the front end grille, beautiful daytime running lights, nice wheels, and I really like the cabin. I don't like the stick-up displays that you have in some of the other SUVs. I like the nice and fleshly mounted screens inside of the vehicle. The gas mileage is great. The driving characteristics are nice and smooth. Yeah, the engine is lacking, but you do have the option for a hybrid, which gives you a 1.6 liter turbo engine and the hybrid system with a total combined output of 225 horsepower versus 185 that you get here. All-wheel drive in the hybrid is also standard, so that's something to keep note. But for $34,000 MSRP, which is the all-wheel drive model, and if you drop the all-wheel drive model, that will actually be even less. I really think this is a really good car, and I certainly think you should at least shortlist it, if not just go right ahead and buy it if you like it. You also get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 5-year, 60,000-mile new vehicle warranty, 3 years and 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. It's a great deal. I think, also guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing some car reviews of everything that I have access to, and I really hope you enjoyed the content. Let me know what else I can do to change up and spice up things in my channel a little bit, and I'll try to make it happen for you. Thank you so much. I'm Samus, and this is In the Mirror Car Reviews.